Right, I am Lord Ben, and I'm currently inside the House of Talk Lords, here with my advisor, Gabby Agbonlahor, lording over the underrated players that could step up and play for a Big Six team. So let's start by talking about this man.
Going to pull the trigger now and finds the bottom corner. Alexander Isak lights up St James's Park.
Yes, we're talking about Alexander Isak. The Newcastle boss Eddie Howe spoke to talkSPORT about his incredible form last night.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it time and time again, he's an unbelievable footballer. He looks really confident in front of goal at the minute. His game looks in a good place. Physically, he looks really sharp. Took his goal superbly well today, and he'll probably go away thinking about the one he missed, but his all-round game was very good.
Alexander Isak been absolutely on fire this season. 22 matches played this season in the Premier League, 15 goals, 1 assist. Is this the kind of signing that Arsenal need, and do you think he'd win Arsenal the title?
I think as well, the first thing for me, Bentley, is like Newcastle are not going to be playing Champions League, probably not playing even Europa League. He's going to be a striker that wants to play in the top competitions. You know, he's a Champions League level striker.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to want to leave for that reason.
Yeah.
Arsenal are crying out for him. Arsenal, top goal scorers this season in the Premier League. But they could do with him, Bentley. You know, Havertz has done okay recently, but put him in there with Martinelli and Saka either side. Imagine that front three. Odegaard behind, playing him, Isak in. I mean, some of the goals he scored recently, even last night, that composure to cut inside and slot it. And so I think there was a goal last season he scored where he ran from the halfway line, got past a few players, cut in and scored.
Yeah, no, he didn't score. He set up. It was
it a set up? Yeah, sorry,
Everton.
it was a set up. Yeah, and he got the assist for it. But I think he's a top striker. And if I'm Arsenal, go all out for him.
Well, listen, he's 2 goals off his best ever season in terms of league goals. I mean, his last time he hit this amount of numbers was 2021 season, where he got 17 to Real Sociedad. So clearly he's on absolute fire.
What I like about him, he's got the first touch, he's got the link-up play, and he's got the pace, and he's got the finish. Yeah. He's got that cherry finish, hasn't he, as well? He's got
side
that.
foot
exactly.
Caress.
The only problem that maybe teams look at is his injury record.
Yeah.
You know, 22 Premier League games this season. He's missed a lot of football. And he's missed Champions League games as well and other cup games. So hopefully if they can keep him fit, it'll be a great signing for Arsenal.
Do you know what's funny, right? Someone's put here on the comments, we talked about Emerson Royale. What about Ruud van Nistelrooy? What about that one?
Rory Delap, mate.
I don't know if it is. Is it, yeah? They said it's 2-0, so it doesn't count.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
All right, over to this man now.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it time and time again, he's an unbelievable footballer. He looks really confident in front of goal at the minute. His game looks in a good place. Physically, he looks really sharp. Took his goal superbly well today, and he'll probably go away thinking about the one he missed, but his all-round game was very good.
Okay, that was Eddie Howe for the second time, talking about Alexander Isak. But listen, he's fantastic, and what he was saying there, Eddie Howe, the manager, is absolutely correct. Okay, but let's now move on to this man.
It's a chance, it's going to be 3. It's a quite magnificent goal by the best player on the pitch, Morgan Gibbs-White.
So Morgan Gibbs-White was unplayable in Nottingham Forest's 3-1 win against Fulham last night, and the Forest boss Nuno Espirito Santo spoke to talkSPORT about his performance after the match.
I'm a suspicious person to talk about Morgan because I know him for so many years, but amazing. He's very talented, and he's reaching a point that he starts to understand much better the game and what the game requires from a man like him.
I think he's absolutely outstanding. 30 Premier League matches, 4 goals, 7 assists. Anyone who hasn't seen his performance last night needs to go and watch it. He was absolutely fantastic. Could he play for a top 4 side, Gab?
100%. I see a team that suit him, Spurs.
Yeah, okay.
Because look at Maddison being brought off in a few games recently, and they're bringing on Lo Celso, who's decent.
Yeah.
Imagine having that power next season, Champions League football, and you're bringing on Gibbs-White, or you're rotating with Gibbs-White in that position. I think he offers everything. First touch, can score a goal, can pick a pass out. He's got that flair. Like we said earlier, that assist in the previous game against Palace to Chris Wood. The defenders didn't even see that pass.
Yeah.
Just a little dink onto Chris Wood's head. It's straight pass as well. I think he's got it all, and Nottingham Forest might be in a position in the end of the season where they have to sell someone like Gibbs-White.
How much do you think you'd go for?
I think minimum 50.
I think so, yeah.
I think maybe a bit more. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the way transfer fees go right now, and the kind of...
Brendan Johnson was what? Was he?
I think it was 50.
50, exactly, and he's better than him.
Yeah.
So you might be
60?
talking more. Yeah, you're probably talking more. And Forest are going to want top dollar for him. But if they're under pressure to sell, clubs will know that.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe offer less than 40 because Forest have to sell someone. for financial fair play. But I don't think he goes to a top 4 club and looks out of place.
No.
I think he fits in, top player.
Also, sorry to go back to the Roy saga. Someone said here, Leroy Sané.
Leroy Lita?
Yeah, it's saying here, Leroy Sané. No,
Leroy Lita? No.
You know, we have to check this out. A lot of guys have thrown him in here as well. So, listen, fantastic. All right, now let's talk about this in-form striker.
Dominic Solanke's enjoying the season of his life, and he's just scored a terrific goal.
Now, Dominic Solanke, 30 Premier League matches, 16 goals, 3 assists. I mean, what level does he go to? Because, again, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but I think he's better than 11th.
Yeah. You know what team I don't see him at? I don't see him good enough for Arsenal. I don't see him good enough for Liverpool. I don't think he's good enough for City. But I think anyone else but them, I think he does. I'd have him at Villa.
Yeah.
I'd have him as like,
over Watkins.
Not going to play every game. No, Watkins is the main man, but he's a player you can bring on, last 30. You can go 2, but maybe put Watkins on the left maybe. But I see him at Spurs, fitting in as well. I see him at West Ham. I see him as Everton.
Yeah.
Better option than Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, of course.
So I think he's definitely better than where he's playing at the moment. And maybe, does he need that move? Then he's got more chance of getting in the England squad.
Do you know, West Ham's one I definitely look at and go, yeah, because, listen, Mikel Antonio, he's not getting any younger. I think he's 34 now.
Yeah.
Doing a great job for West Ham, by the way, holding the ball up. He's been scoring goals. But it is about what happens next. And I do think Solanke would be perfect down there. We look at Bowen, Paquetá, Kudus behind him.
Yes.
That's some front line, that.
And he's so unlucky, isn't he? 16 Premier League goals, and he's not talked about as much as he should be about getting into the England setup. I think he's the next one, though. I think he's on the list before Wilson, with Wilson's injury problems. But I think he does get a move in the summer, and it wouldn't surprise me. Would you have him at Arsenal?
Do you know what?
That's the tricky one. Like,
I would, but again, main man, I'm not sure, but I definitely have it. I think he's definitely earned the right to have a crack at one of the top clubs. He was at Liverpool, didn't really get much of an opportunity.
Chelsea when he was younger.
He was younger, yeah. But you know what? He's got 16 goals this season, right? And we're not really talking about him. Do you remember when he scored 29 in the Championship for Bournemouth?
Yeah.
No one mentioned it because Mitrovic broke the record.
Exactly.
So he's had 2 unbelievable seasons.
You know what I like about him as well? He's a handful. You know, he's a nightmare for defenders. Very good in the air. He can finish on the floor as well. And he's probably just needed to take his time to get used to the Premier League. Now, I'll definitely see him moving to a top 6 team at least.
All right, over to this midfielder who's attracted a lot of interest this season.
Lovely cross, 3-0, Douglas Luiz, fantastic goal.
Talk to me, you've probably seen more of him than I have. Douglas Luiz. 9 goals for midfield.
Where do you start, mate? I feel like, yes, 9 goals and maybe 4 or 5 have been penalties maybe, but what he offers, Benty, is that he can play as the 6 and get on the ball from the centre-halves, especially when Kamara has been injured or suspended. He can find a pass, he's safe with the ball, doesn't give the ball away, he can wrap it into him. If you're Martinez, you know he's going to keep it. Or he can play as an 8, where he's played a lot this season, where he can push on, he can get in the box, he can score goals, he can finish from outside the box, he can pick a pass. You would have loved to play with him. You know, he can make them runs you used to make him behind. And he's going to play it. He's always looking to play forward. And he's in the Brazil squad. You know, he didn't start against England, but I think he'd come on. So I think he could play in a top 4 side. But he's at one, Benty.
Yeah.
Hey, he's that one, isn't he? Yeah. He's at a top 4 Premier League side. So, you know, get another house in Birmingham, you know, and then get yourself settled. Do you know what I mean? Have a nice young family in Birmingham and get yourself settled for another 10 years, Douglas. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's settled at Aston Villa. Get Aston Villa into the Champions League. You're still getting picked for your country. Lovely jubbly.
All right, just quickly, finally, let's end by talking about this man.
Brereton, right footed corner. It's 3 apiece. Wow.
Now, you really like him, and I like him too. Ben Brereton Diaz. Obviously, got to move to Sheffield United. 4 goals in 5 Premier League matches, 1 assist. He's almost been a revelation down there.
Yeah, you know what I like about him? When he was at Blackburn, I remember watching him, and I'm like, this guy can do something that you don't expect. You know what them players, Bentley? Like, first of all, he works very hard.
Yeah.
He can play on the left, he can play on the right, play down the middle, but you don't know what he's going to do. You know, he's got that uncertainty about him, and he showed that throughout his career at Blackburn. Yeah, it didn't work for him at Villarreal, but he's come now to Sheffield United. 5 games, 4 goals, 1 assist.
Yeah.
I like him, and I think Sheffield United go down, 100% someone signs him. Maybe a team that gets promoted. I'd even see it as an Everton.
Yeah.
Coming off that left. But I like him. I think he's got a bit.
Yeah, me too.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.